I'm Suzanne. I just wanted to introduce myself, and I wanted to tell you the story of how last year I almost by accident started my backyard nursery. And also I wanted to explain what has led me to start this YouTube channel. Last year was the winter of 23-24. I had been extremely busy for the last couple of years, and I was kind of in a little bit of a lull, and I had a little bit of time to assess my yard and kind of look at things, and I felt like everything was either dead, dying, or taken over by weeds. It was cold. I was depressed. I just, before that, I felt like my yard has kind of started to show some potential. I had bought this house and it had been a foreclosure, it had been vacant for several years. It was trashed. And it was starting to look kind of like, you know, a yard that somebody might actually care about and love. All I wanted to do was get my hands in the dirt. I just wanted to get my hands dirty. I wanted to grow things, and I didn't care what. And so I decided that I was going to order myself a light, and I was going to plant myself some seeds. And so I did. I ordered one light, and I planted some zinnias and some snapdragons, and I figured those would add a bunch of color very cheaply, easy to grow, and you know, this would be good. And it was good. I felt better. I mean, I felt like I was growing hope along with these seeds. And so, you know, I ordered another light, and I started some more seeds because those seeds had came up so quickly. You know, I wasn't done. I wasn't done planting. And so I planted some more seeds, and this time I got a little bit more, I don't know, I got some cooler seeds, let's just say. I planted some mahogany splendor hibiscus. I planted some love lies bleeding amaranth. Dahlia seeds. Man, I planted some dahlias. I was just having fun, growing all kinds of stuff. And you know, time goes on. All my seeds are up. I have no more room underneath the lights. So I ordered some shelves and another 4 lights, and I packed them all out. I mean, I was turning seed trays longwise so I could get more underneath each light. And I had between 20 and 25 flats of seeds started. And well, I didn't get underneath the lights. I had on the floor, maybe in a window, but I was just growing and growing, and everybody thought I was crazy, and I was just like, you know, whatever. And you know, eventually I started going, wow, you know, you might have too many plants. What are you gonna do? And so I thought, well, you know, you could sell some of these. And then I thought, well, you know, you're gonna be the person who goes to jail, so you don't want to do that. So I mean, I really didn't have a choice. I had to get my nursery license, right? And so I did, and I got everything that I needed to go, so I was legal. And then I guess it wasn't long after that I realized that I could buy wholesale plants. And so I started researching everything I could find, looking at all the growers. You know, I ordered catalogs from several of them, and just, I don't know, I was very excited about it. And so finally I decided I was going to order from this one company. I had to order 4 flats, and that doesn't sound like very many, but 3 of the flats, you order 250 each, which is really like 288 or something like that each. And then I ordered a flat of 100, which was really 105. And so I'm having these little tiny, I mean, the flats of 250 come in, I mean, the cells are maybe the size of your pinky. They're tiny, tiny, tiny. And so you know, I'm potting those up into the flats I had the other seeds in. The other seeds have been potted up into 4-inch pots. And, you know, I'm just like getting these all, you know, transferred from where they were to someplace else. And eventually I get my first seedlings that I had grown hardened off. They're ready to go in the ground. And so I decide that I really don't know how to market these. I'm just gonna have a garage sale because I have a lot of stuff to sell anyway. And so I threw some plants out there, and it was magic. I mean, they sold, and people were excited, and I felt happy about it. I mean, I felt like it was a good thing. And it's nice to get compliments on your plants, right? And so I was like, okay, this is gonna work. This is good. I started listing on Facebook Marketplace, and I had people coming, during the day while I was at work. I left my plants on the porch. They were leaving money in my mailbox underneath my doormat, all over the place. I was taking Venmo. I was doing whatever, and honestly, it worked out really well. I think that plant people are just good people. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's my story. I really had almost no problems. I had one time that somebody decided that they were going to take, a big gob of plants, but it was fine, right? I mean, they needed it more than me, and I was having fun. So, I just continued as normal. And I really did stay pretty busy. I stayed busy all spring. It was like crazy. And I couldn't keep up. I mean, I was selling out of things, and people were asking for more. And it became very clear that people wanted me to grow vegetables. And I started a few squash and, zucchini and okra, maybe cucumbers. I started a few things just because I knew they would come up really quick, and I could probably turn them around in time where people would still have time to get a harvest. And so I did that, but I just didn't do very many. This year I am going full force on that. I'm starting a ton of tomatoes. I'm starting a ton of peppers. I'll be growing 6 packs of okra and corn and whatever else eggplants, I think. I have several things. But I will be growing everything that I can think of, that I can make room to grow, and hopefully I will have enough for everybody out there. I'm definitely trying to expand. Last year, whenever the growing season was mostly over, I started trying to learn how to grow seeds, tree seeds, should I say. And so I've started a lot of trees from seed. And of course, that'll probably take a couple of years before they're actually ready to grow. And some of them I just kind of want to have in my yard because I feel like, I started them, and some is special because I didn't know I'd be able to start pine trees and Italian cypresses and catalpas, and there's so many trees. And now I have cuttings going. I have all kinds of stuff going. I just feel like this could actually work, and it's something that I have not once gotten tired of yet. I am not, waking up dreading, going to pot up something, or water something or whatever it is. It's something that I love, and I feel like if I can make a go of this, I am definitely going to continue to grow it as I can. One of the reasons that I decided to start the YouTube channel, though, was because I wasn't the best at documenting. I mean, 1,000 times over, I have designed spreadsheets where I was going to keep track of every single thing I planted. I was going to keep track of how many days it took to germinate, how many I sold, how many I grew in the first place, did any die, were any stolen, etc., etc. Did I start it at the right time? Should I have started it 2 weeks earlier, 2 weeks later? And I didn't do that. It's one of my biggest failures, I think. And I don't know if it's I just can't bring myself to actually go sit behind the computer, or what it is. But I definitely need to work on it. When I fill with a plant, I feel like it's yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a failure to me. I guess maybe I give myself more grace than I should, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Did I learn something? Hopefully, and I can improve. I'm trying to document now with videos, etc. What I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and how it's going. One of the things I also did, and this probably isn't going to be affected by the YouTube, but I would find a supplier and I'd be like, oh wow, yeah, I definitely want to order some of this. That's a great price or whatever it is. I want to bring that in. And I would write sticky notes, or I would write something on a piece of paper, and then I would, find it 6 months later. And so I'm just trying to get organized. I'm trying to learn. I want to kind of document the entire journey. I just kind of want to look back and say, be able to have a history of what's gone on. And sometimes I think we just need to experiment, because sometimes I think the nurseries around us are, as much as we'd love for them to be accurate and to know what they're selling us, I think they bring in things that say, okay, yeah, it is hardy in zone 7. However, it's an azalea and a camellia and gardenia, and we have, single digits humidity most of the time, and it's 100 and something degrees, and we have less than 20 inches of rain a year, and those just aren't going to do well for us. And then there's other things, other trees that you never see. You see the same, dozen different kinds of trees, and I think that some of those can grow here, and I want to try to grow different kinds of things. I would love to have a piece of land that was almost an arboretum, and I want to experiment. I want to try to grow different things, and we have it's limitless what we can grow right now, right? We have the internet, we have seeds from all over the place, and I know that there's probably people out there who are going to be upset with me because I do not stick with just native plants. But if I stuck with native plants here, I would have nothing but mesquite and cactus and probably Bermuda grass, and we don't have a problem with things being invasive. If I plant a butterfly bush, it's not going to go to seed and take over, anything. If I plant a butterfly bush and I don't water it for a week, it's going to die. And so that's not a problem that I run into. Things are not very invasive here, with the exception of Bermuda grass, grass burrs, things that are not pleasant. And I just, I do want to do things that are, drought tolerant and all that kind of stuff. But I also want to push the limit. I want to see what I can grow. I want to see what kind of things can grow. I want to let other people here in town experiment with me. And one of the things about having the nursery that was amazing was I'd have people 3 months after they bought a plant sending me pictures of their yard, or asking me a question and telling me they just moved, down to Texas from Wisconsin, and when should they plant their peonies. And it was a nice thing. I loved the interaction with people who are just trying to make a pretty spot for themselves. And so I hope I get to have more interaction with people like that. And I hope that people can learn something from me. I hope that people can teach me something. And that is exactly why I have started this channel. I just wanted to put that out there, let everybody know what's going on, why it's here. And anyway, if you think that you might be interested in watching my journey, please subscribe to my channel and like my video, comment below, do whatever it takes. But hopefully we'll pick up some steam, and I'll be able to post a lot of videos and something that's of interest to anybody looking for a garden video. Thank you, and I appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.